listen to me do it a couple times, and then like more at the ears part, less the guitar part. Like. So, and we're sequencing the original little tidbit here. Yep, you got it. All right, Bill. Yeah, all right, we all got it. So now, so we're taking this original, just that little part, and right now we're sequencing. We already did repetition and retrograde, which for this one was, so now we're doing sequencing. Using a lot of, yeah, we'll talk about it in a second.
And a half step below the original.
Well, let's talk about it. Go ahead, Bill. That's all right. Yeah, you can use the F sharp if you want. That's what it sounded like to me too. I agree. Sing it. Just go. It's real logical if you just sing it, right? Yeah, you got it. Now do it on the guitar. See if it helps if you look away, too. Let's see if it helps if you look at something else. Yeah. There you go. Alright, so now, you can organize this stuff by different principles. Like you might embellish the chord. For instance, like on this thing, if you're thinking that this is in C, you can like so that's like what you were doing, Ray. You were just taking the like that relationship and applying it to everything that gives you interesting colors. So you can do it that way. Usually you plug this into a chord, a scale, or in a like bigger sense, just the tonality, which includes both of those things. So in other words, like if we're thinking that we're using a C scale, because this song. Alright, it sounds real like that's home, right?
Yeah.
So if we call that, you can either just, the normal way is to just choose it out of the scale. So like, instead of,
Well, if you want to be strictly intervallic, though, you would have to play the die. Is that it? Do, die, re.
oh, do,
Let's see,
D,
it's,
you want to play C sharp?
well, it's full step up, step and a
That's
half
not the
down.
normal way of doing it. You can do it that way. I'm just saying you can use different, like any principle to organize this. And if you just sing it, most people are just going to sing out of the scale. Anyway, yeah, feel free to do that. Oh, there are a lot of things where you have where you go into watch this. Damn it! Can't do. It's Charlie Parker there. I should tell you how. Damn it! I can't do it. But this one. It's that exact principle you're talking about, where you take, like, the upper one is out of the scale and the lower one is just the fret next to it, regardless, or however they're doing on the exact keys.
But I would think that could add some interesting results, though.
Yeah.
To a progression.
Yeah, so that's really adding to this. Like this, just your stock thing is by tonality.
But if you're strictly being sequential, that would be the way to do it. Though.
No, your step one of sequencing is diatonic.
Okay.
Which is just in the scale.
Within the scale.
Yeah, I mean what you're doing is completely valid. That's just like that's beyond a little bit. So yeah, just like your straight sequencing, like that's da 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 da. Oh, but that thing. What was that thing I was doing? What was the first one I did? Ba da 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 da. I can't decide whether it's F or F sharp. What is that?
Oh, that's a Ray do mi Ray.
Yeah, but in just the terms of the rules, like ba da da da. What's that? We just talked about it. We just did it for a while. Na na.
Oh,
What's the retrograde?
Yeah, yep. Retrograde. Now what's this? Na 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 na.
Sequencing.
Yeah, retrograde sequence. Yeah, let's do that. You can combine all, there's like 9 of them, and you can, like some of them you negate each other, like retrograde inversion on this one. Here's retrograde inversion. It's identical to the first one, so like sometimes you combine them and they negate each other. So, alright, so let's do retrograde inversion. I'll start so you can hear what it sounds like. Yeah, good. Alright, Bill? Yep. Yep, now sequence it. That's your retrograde. Now sequence that. Take another one. You're like right on the cusp. Can you sing it like la da 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 da? Okay, I'm hearing that sharp definitely. That's probably what's throwing you guys. You guys were both getting all tripped up when you get up to that F, because I think you're hearing it both ways too, aren't you? Okay, now you're hearing it. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Alright, so now, real quick, let's add those other two things to it. So, what is that?
Sequencing.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep. Yep. That's cool. That's cool. It's a lot harder to take like a whole phrase and fit it into something else. Like that's really taking a sentence and just repeating it. Like this is a real big word. That's like one of those German words, you know, like Krankenschwester, Gemütlichkeiten or something. You know what I mean? That's a big word. This. That's a whole sentence right there. So anyway, make sure you're picking small bits. We talked about that.
Okay.
So anyway, right, so just as much as you want to do, it don't matter. Just sequence as much as you want to do the whole sentence, just sequence the whole sentence. And you can go either direction. Yeah, good. Yeah, it did sound like that, didn't it? I think because when I start with this, it sounds like it wants to go. That's why I hear that sharp there. Go ahead, Bill.
Well,
And just sequence that. You can go up or down, don't matter. You got like E flat in there.
I can't. I was thinking that was.
Well, you trying to like. You can do here. Watch this.
That's me. La.
Listen.
La. Or so. Okay, you can't.
If you only pick the. If we're doing the F natural, if it's F sharp. But you know, you can pick. First of all, you got to know where all those spots are. That's one of those blues things. Like blues guys, like like this stuff. to do it that way, like moving your hand like just to get the same shape, you can do that, but you kind of already have a vocabulary of stuff that fits in that exact footprint. You know what I mean?
But this is me, right?
Mi so so, mi so so, mi so so, la mi. Now the syllable stuff.
And then that would be the next one. Fa.
Da 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 oh,
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. That one's not so easy to hear. But if you starting to hear it? Yeah. Na, 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 oh. You hear it?
I'm lost.
Well, after you do enough of this stuff, you just hear, yeah, that's it. Yep. You just hear like how it's like Candyland. You ever play that game? You guys have kids. You ever play Candyland? Okay, Candyland, I could teach it to you right now. It's a 4-year-old taught it to me. She's so excited. She was telling me about this game, how great it is. She told me, it's candy and it's a game. Like, what will they think of next? So anyway, so what you do is you take one die, right? I think it's just one die. You don't have to add or anything. You just have to see how many dots are on there. Then you count that many spaces on this board. And you go, like if you roll, you get a 3, you move your piece. 1, 2. Yeah, that must be the point of the whole game, is just counting. Okay. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then you land on something, and there might be there's a color. What are the colors? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But the point is, like you roll a die. That's like your interval from the original. Like do da da do da da. No 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 no. No 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 no. It's just it's a third. That's like you rolled a 2, and you go skip skip. Ba da 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 da. No 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 no. You hear that? It's just like Canon. So no 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 no. That's one. It doesn't matter how far down it is. It's when you start off. That's easy to hear. No 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 no. Wait, am I on? No 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 no. All right. I want to hear that, but it's really right. But that's the art of it. That's here's the exercise. Here's what I heard, which this is where the human part of it comes in. Like even though you're doing these things like really lockstep by rote, building this up and getting real good at just the real technical dry exercise part of it is what makes you musical. Is what makes you speak fluently. It's like doing all your grammar and all that bullshit. In school, you learn all that stuff, and then you get really good at it, and then you have all this language swimming around in your head, and that all fades to the background. And so, right? That's the that thing. Because like as you're playing that, you hear that the like where you need to go is kind of ugly sounding. So you go somewhere else. You know what I mean? So anyway, recap. We've got. Let's do everything that we can do with this one real quick. What's that one? Yep, and is question mark.
Sequencing.
Yep. All right. And is
Repeat.
yeah repetition. All right. So let's go around, just do all three of those on that one, and then we'll do the last one.
Retrograde.
Okay. All right. And what else you got?
Repeat.
All right. Bueno. All right, Bill.
Repeat. So retrograde would be, that's going to be hard.
Yeah. What's that? If you do enough of these, like you start to hear them, like you just. Like you
I
just
can't
run
do
back
that
and-
retrograde. without
Well,
really
okay, break it down in
thinking
small parts. Da 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 da. You hear that? Da do. Now I can't hear it frontwards. Do da 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 da. So sing after me though. Guitar. Like you guys both want to go to guitar, but like you guys don't even like know your scales very well on guitar. Like you don't even know where this stuff. I mean, like I get it because the guitar is always in tune, and like if you find the right fret, it's going to give you the sound. I get that. I mean, that's pure. I mean, try to get as much in your head before you go to the guitar. Like always push yourself in that direction. You got to push yourself. I mean, like this. You know what I mean? All the ear stuff, it comes eventually anyway, regardless of what you do. But if like the more you push yourself, the more you just, you just arrive. A lot of times you're like right up against being able to do something, and if you push through, you just get there. Whereas it might take a year to just naturally fall into it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so da da da, sing it.
Da da da.
Da 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 da. Yeah, that's right.
Da da da.
Da da da.
Do da da.
Da da do.
Da da do.
Yep. So
Okay, I think
da
that
da da da. No.
Da da da.
Oh, I'm doing frontwards again.
Da.
Do dee do da da do da da do. Do dee do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
No, you're going do dee do do da da do da da do.
That's
So me, so me.
so me, so me.
Yeah. It's mi la so, mi la so. Yeah, that's right.
Mi la so.
So me, so me.
So me, so me.
That sounds like the original to me now. So retrograde of that is the original.
Man.
It's me so, me so la me. No, that sounds like original again.
Kind of like a palindrome, you spell it backwards.
Yeah.
Backwards,
Then you get.
yeah.
Yeah. It's real cool. Yeah, it's like it's totally like it sounds like you're riffing on a bunch of stuff, but it's just the exact same thing, just coming
You
on a
go to
loop.
Civic, CIDIC, spell it backwards.
Yeah, race car.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you get it. You get it enough that you can play with it and have fun with it. Last one. Shit, we're out of time, but what was mine? Right, that was mine. So we got repetition.
retrograde.
Wait. That's almost a pound drum itself. Da 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 da. Right?
I think so.
Retrograde, then that's it, we just got the 3.
Sequence.
Did I do repetition?
Yeah. That was the first one. Then retrograde and then
Okay.
sequencing.
Alright, go ahead, your turn. Oh, you'd like to just do those 3 on that same one.
Oh, that would be retrograde.
Alright, and then what about sequencing?
Repetition.
Okay.
And well, it doesn't fit in the scale. Does it?
Playing the scale.
Because that's a major third.
Yo, you're doing like your geometry. Here, listen real quick. You know what? I think the first time I did it, I was kind of singing it. I was interpolating it a little bit. Maybe I wasn't doing it pure. I think
Okay.
that probably threw you off. Anyway, okay, one more time sequencing, and you can go either way too. You can go down if you want. All right, Bill.
The
What is that? Am I? Yeah. What's bottom? What is that? Anyone?
Do.
Yeah, do bum 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 bum. Right, sing it. Do. So da do.
Re, do.
Yeah,
Mi, re, do.
yeah. Mi re do do. Yep. And do it again. You got repetition. What's another one? Okay, so that's sequencing.
that's sequencing.
Now, retrograde.
This is like the other one.
So, take it. Go, listen. There are two halves to this word. All right, they're kind of two. Okay, there are two halves to this word. That's as far as the metaphor could possibly go this time. So, ba ba da dum,
Ba da da
da da da da.
da 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 da.
Yeah, but it's da 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 if we're doing, I mean, technically we're not doing the rhythms, but let's just, to me it's easier to hear it the same way, going frontwards or backwards. So, bum ba da dum,
Bum ba
da 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 da.
da 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 da.
Alright, hear that? Now, bum bum,
Bum bum
bum bum.
bum bum.
So, ba-dum bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum 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 bum.
I don't know why. I can't get it.
Ba-dum bum bum
Bum bum bum
bum bum.
bum bum.
Yep. Ba-dum bum bum
Bum bum bum
bum bum.
bum bum.
Oh, wait, no, we want bum bum. Wait, we want ba-dum bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum 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 bum. It is confusing. Yeah, okay, so listen. Bum 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 ba-da-dum.
Bum 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 ba-da-dum.
And this one is ba-dum bum 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 bum. Ba-dum bum 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 bum.
Bum 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 bum.
Yep, bum bum. And that's the pre-chorus. Bum bum. The exact, I know it's just the two sounds, but the exact rhythm, you know what I mean? It's too much of a coincidence. A lot of times if you break a song apart, you'll hear like a lot of really catchy, especially pop tunes and jazz tunes, not like the real crazy bebop stuff, but like, you know, do 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 do, you know, all sequencing all day. You'll hear all these rules in effect. So like that definitely sounds like retrograde of the so that's our retrograde. We did sequence. All right. So point of all that is, you take this. So we've got these just 3 little bits of this song. It's a real minimal song, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got a whole just shit ton of material. If you develop those tiny little bits, like you could just use that. You could just use that one, like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying that one little bit, you know, I'd already just kind of spun off into my imagination just using those rules. I'm not even doing anything fancy. I'm just, you know what I mean? Just taking those, you know, that's where music comes from. It's not, you know, these are like the logical underpinnings of me. Like, this is your grammar of music. You know, you guys are ready for this stuff. And this is fun. I mean, like, this is, like for me, where I'm at with this thing right now, I'm really grasping for ways to get you guys excited enough about this stuff to where like you can't wait to go home and, you know, pick this. I think maybe my song selection is not the greatest. If ever like you guys want to just bring in a tune,
I like that song.
to where.
I do too.
All right.
Yeah, so you did good.
All right. Well, maybe it's just me. If you have a teacher that you can bring with you, bring them in here, and I'll show him what to show you, and then I don't know, but. But this stuff, you guys are perfectly capable of doing this stuff. This is fun. This is the essence of you. Ray, you're writing music, so I mean, you need this stuff to write music. You know, for any lines you play, this comes into effect. We're way out of time, but I just wanted to show you guys. Like, I keep trying to push this so we're. I want to get to where we can start doing this and translating. We've got so mi do. La fa do, so fa re ti do mi do. That's what that is. And what we're going to do with that, we're going to up here on the upper string. We can see. All right, with our solfege and everything, we're gonna flip our tonal patterns upside down and make actual voicings out of them. Okay, we'll go through all the major and minor chords with that, but for right now, if we can start heading toward that, at least just think about, brace yourself for doing some of that next week. The so, mi, do, la, fa, do, so, fa, re, ti, do, mi, do, and then. So.
Are you in a certain key or?
Yeah, I'm in the same key as the song. But it don't matter. I mean,
I don't know that song, so.
You know the song.
Oh, it's the same song.
Yeah, I'm just taking the chords.
Oh, okay.
So what are the 4 chords?
It's we call them 1, 4, and 5. Ray, you know these numbers. We've talked about them. 1 is built on your first scale degree. 2 is built on Re. 3 is built on Mi. 4 is built on Fa. So. Fa, so is 4 or 5. All you need to know is the syllable. All we're doing, that's theory, but all we need to know is the so, mi, do, la, fa, do, so, fa, re, ti, do, mi, do. That's all we need. And it's not even an assignment, it's just we're going to definitely do some of that next week. All right, bueno. Fun, fun, fun.